this is Mechbay, and welcome to another episode of Mechbay Dios. In this episode, I'd like to share with you guys another dio props and accessories that I found at one of the arts and crafts store that I go to, which is in my case Hobby Lobby. But you could also find this at any arts and crafts store, I think, Michael's, things like that. But this is actually, as you guys probably already figured it out, it's pillars. So I'm actually going to repaint this. I also did some modification in this. I made some cut ones or destroyed one, not totally destroyed, but like just basically cut in half. And this actually, again, like I said, you could buy this at any arts and crafts store. And this is what the label looks like. It's they actually come in pairs, so they call it 2 Roman columns. And you can see the price there, $7.99. So they're fairly, they're fairly reasonable price wise. But a lot of the arts and crafts store usually have a 1-day coupon that you could use, and normally those are for like 40% off. So if you just buy one of these a day, you can get them basically for about $5. So for the pair, so that's it's a pretty good deal. So yeah, so I want to use this for my dios, and then again it can go pretty well with a lot of different scenarios, but I'm planning on using this mostly on like temple type scenarios, or use this as like battle debris of some sort, especially like this one right here that I cut. And the thing about this is that this is actually made out of like hard plastic. You can kind of hear that, and it's hollow, so you could kind of see there's a hole that goes all the way through. So when you cut this, like what I did here, you get obviously you're gonna end up having a hole. And so what I did is I used like a newspaper just to like fill it up, maybe like a little bit, before I put in my my DAP or any spackle type material, and let it dry. So right now that's probably still soft, but you can kind of see what I did there. So yeah, so that you don't have to fill the rest of this with the the DAP material, you could basically just put like in a newspaper. I hot glue it on the side so it fills it up to like this part, and then before I applied the DAP, and once it dries up and you paint over that, then it'll look like it's just one whole piece. So yeah, and also the other modification that I did in here is I added as you can see, I have some like markers in here. I used a Sharpie just to mark some increments in here. And what I did on that is I actually went there and cut a line, like a grooves. So if I get closer, you could kind of see that there's a groove kind of like all around. And basically, I want to make this look a little bit more realistic. And because normally this is especially the old way of building a pillar like this, is that this is usually built by pieces and then they stack them. This obviously comes in like one whole piece and no lines like this. So I just wanted to kind of like stick with the idea that this is made from several pieces that's been stacked. And that's probably where I spend a lot of time doing. And I also did sanding for prep for this one. Well, actually the step is, what I do is I wash this with soap water or soap liquid just to remove some of the chemicals that's been applied to this plastic, so that when you paint on it, it's gonna be it will stick better. And then after that, I start sanding because this one has seams that goes from like this side. Right now you could kind of barely see it now because I already sanded this, but it actually goes from here all the way up and you know to the other side. There's actually two of them, like on both sides. So I like to I don't really like seeing seams in some of my models and stuff, so I can apply the same thing in here. So I sand that, and the same thing in here right after I made my grooves here using my hobby saw, a small hobby saw. I came back in there and start scraping parts because you're gonna end up having burrs in here, plastic burrs that's like it's gonna be like tiny, but it's still, if you start painting it, it's not gonna look good if you have some sort of like plastic hanging along the side. So that's where I spend a lot of my time doing for this one, for the prep part. And then yeah, so this is basically ready for priming. And again, for this one, I'm gonna go the spray paint route, because again, applying acrylic water-based acrylic primer manually, and this one's gonna be tough using brush because of the plastic. It's pretty slippery, so it's not gonna stick right away. So I'm gonna use this, and then once that it's done, then I'm gonna go and use my acrylic paints and apply it by dry brushing. And I normally use 3 different tones of gray. And for this one, I'm just probably gonna be doing like a straight up kind of like concrete looking pillars. And so for that, I normally use 3 tones. I usually apply a dark gray after the black prime. This will be my 90% coverage, and then after that I'll be using the gray color for like a 50% coverage. And then for the highlights, I use a light color or light gray color to pop up the highlights, kind of like the edges and stuff like that. Once you pick that up, it's going to be much realistic looking. So yeah, that's my process, and I'm back with the finished product. As you can see, it's fully painted. My light is kind of too bright. Let me see if I can just push it a little bit so that you could kind of appreciate a little bit more. There you go. I think that's a little better. So there you go. Just gonna zoom in and pan in just to give you guys an idea what it looks like. There you go. So yeah, I liked how this one turned out. And it's fairly easy to do also, like what I talked about. This one is achieved, this kind of look is achieved by basically using 3 shades of gray acrylic paint, and of course you have to do the black prime first. And like I said, for the priming, I use the spray paint first because it's easier to get it to adhere on this pillars, because they're made out of plastic. And so acrylic brushing won't really be too good. I mean, you'll eventually get it, but it'll just take a while before you'll probably have to do multiple layers of black brushing before it will actually, cover the whole thing. But with the spray primer, you only have to do maybe two coating at most, and you're basically done and ready to do your dry brushing with the grays. But yeah, I like how it turns out, and I hope that you guys will be able to do something like this as well. Alright, hopefully this video is helpful, and as always, if you haven't subscribed in my channel, please do. And for those who are subscribers already, I appreciate it, and thank you very much. See you guys next time. Okay, bye-bye.